Okay, we are continuing with proportions. So you're going to see today how we write proportions with all the labeling. We did briefly cover keeping the labeling with it to help make sense. But I think tomorrow your IXL is with word problems, so this will help you. So one way to write a proportion is to use a table. So if you see here, we have a table, and we're talking about ringtones and how much they cost. So this is buying ringtones for your phones.
Just a question. In proportions, is it important to put like the labeling?
When you're dealing with word problems, yes. For an answer, not necessarily. It depends. If it just says find a proportion for ringtones to dollars, then you could just say 2 over 3 or whatever it is. In this case, what we're going to be doing today is finding the missing value. So the labeling is important for you not to put the numbers in the wrong spot. So there's 2 different ways you could write proportions when you're dealing with a table. You could use the columns, which in this case, you have 2 ringtones for every $6 equals 3 ringtones. And we don't know how much the 3 ringtones cost. So we assign it a value of X. Now, do you guys remember how to solve when you're dealing with equivalent fractions? You're trying to find this as your answer, so you cross multiply and then divide.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah, I love proportions.
What?
Simple.
It's so complicated. I had to do all this math.
Nope, cross multiply and divide. So in order to find this missing value here, I'm going to say 6 times 3, which is 18. Divide that by 2.
9.
So then if I bought 3 ringtones, it's going to cost me $9.
That's all I had to do.
Light bulb, done.
We did like so many years. We put like multipliers.
Nope. If you have equivalent fractions, cross multiply and divide. Let's do another. The other way you could have written this, we wrote that using the columns. Let's write it using. Take another picture. Yep. So now let's write it using the rows. So using the rows, I have it this way instead. So I'm going to say 2 ringtones equals $6 over 3 ringtones equals, we don't know dollars, right? Same thing. How am I going to solve this?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply, divide. 6 times 3 is still 18, divided by 2 is still 9.
Is it only the denominator that is the blank one?
Nope. Any equivalent fraction. You do the cross multiplication, divide by the third number, and it will find this one. So if I had 2/3 equals X over 9. I would just cross multiply here and divide by this one. So 9 times 2 would be 18, divided by 3.
6.
My answer is 6. Works on any equivalent fractions. Very good question. So, yay, you guys will do equivalent fractions only from now on. All right, let's look at example 1. All right, we're dealing with a recipe. A chef increases the amount of ingredients in a recipe to make a proportional recipe. The new recipe has 6 cups of black beans. Write a proportion that gives the number X of tomatoes in the new recipe. And you can see on the left-hand side, the black bean soup recipe. I did not take a picture of it, but it shows all the different measurements. But we have the relevant ones over here in our table. So in the original recipe, we had 1.5 cups of black beans, and we had 1 tomato. In the new recipe, we have 6 cups of black beans, and we need to figure out how many tomatoes we have. So do you want to organize this proportion using columns or rows? It doesn't matter. Columns. So I'm going to say 1.5 cups black beans over 1 tomato equals 6 cups of black beans over, we don't know how many tomatoes. So we're going to cross multiply 6 times 1 and divide it by 1.5.
1.5, 3, 4.5, 6, so it's 4.
So we need 4 tomatoes.
So
Wait, how did we get to 4?
We did 6 times 1 and then divided by 1.5. So 1.5 goes into 6. 1.5 times 2 is 3. Times 4 would be 6.
So 4 tomatoes.
So we need 4 tomatoes for this recipe. Cool, right? Simple, yes?
It's really simple.
Good. Grab your piece of paper. We're going to do on your own number 1. We're going to use this example, and we're going to write a different proportion than what we did. So we used columns, so what's another way we could write this proportion? Rows. So I can say this is on your own number 1. I'm squeezing it in this screen. Please use your space. So I'm going to say 1.5 cups of black beans equals 6. Wait, that's not different. Equals
rows, right?
1 tomato. Yeah, so we're going to put on the bottom here 6 cups of black beans. And then it equals 1 tomato over X number of tomatoes. So you see, and what I'm doing is, when you do it by rows, you put the cups together on the same side and you put the tomatoes on the same side.
Oh, so you don't-
Whereas before, we put them across from each other.
Oh.
Works either way. Because again, I'm going to cross multiply 6 times 1 divided by 1.5.
Oh, so you're putting the same
Labels.
labels.
Correct. That's the difference. You're changing where you put the labels. You either put them together on the same side of the equal sign, or you put them directly across from each other.
I think I like columns better.
I like columns because they're visually easy for me, but some people, the rows makes more sense for them too. And sometimes when you read it in a word problem, you don't have it in a table. It makes sense to put the black beans together and the tomatoes over here.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you group it this way and don't put, you're not putting the black beans on the tomatoes you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Keep the old recipe and the new recipe separate. Write a different proportion that gives X number of tomatoes. Okay, you didn't have to actually solve it. So, number 1. If you did, great. So number 2, in example 1, write a proportion that gives the amount Y of water in the new recipe. So now we got to go back and look at the black bean soup recipe. Ooh, that's big. So what proportion do we know for sure? We know the proportion of black beans, right? In the old recipe, we had 1.5 cups of black beans. And then in the new recipe, we had 6 cups of black beans, right? So now we're going to deal with the water. So on the old recipe, how much water did we have? Yes, write this down. This is number 2 on your own. So in the old recipe, how much water did we have? 2 cups of water.
2 cups.
Making soup.
Wait, what are you reading from?
Over on the left-hand side, see the recipe? Yeah, right there.
Let's try it.
We should make the soup.
Yeah.
Do you guys like black bean soup? It's got salsa in it. That means it'd be good. Okay, and then over here, we're going to put X cups of water for the new recipe because we don't know. Now, how would I solve this?
Multiply the 2 and
6 times 2, which would be what?
12.
12. And then we divide that by
1.5.
1.5. So how many times can 1.5 go into 12? I think it's 8.
8. I think, yeah, that's 8.
So we need 8 cups of water in the new recipe.
Back to our journals.
That's if I'm making it for the whole class rather than just my little family. So now you guys know how to increase recipes, don't you?
Let's do it.
John's all about eating some black bean soup. All right. Let's sample 2. Grab your journals again. So now we're going to deal with just proportions. We have no labeling, just the numbers. So this should go quick now that y'all know how to do it. It says solve 3 over 2 equals x over 8. How do I solve this?
Cross multiply 8 and 3.
Cross multiply 8 and 3 and then divide by
2.
So what's 8 times 3?
24.
24 divided by 2 is
12.
So x equals 12.
And that would be
Bam. Any questions? No? Let me show you real quick if you would like to do this in your head and cross multiplying in your head is difficult, which for some it might be, for some it's not, and that's fine. You can also look at this and go, okay, what times 2 gave me the 8?
4.
So 2 times 4 gives you 8, so what 3 times 4 is? 12. Same answer. So when it's simple ratios, you can look at it that way. When you have numbers that are like 1,275 over 5,000 equals, you know, you're not going to want to try and do this method in your head.
Maybe you want to go across.
But the cross multiply divide method, calculator done. Cool? All right, let's look at example 3. Oh, we're back to example 1, tomatoes again. Oh, they had you solve it. We've already done that. So you don't have to put this in your journal.
In the new recipe?
It said how many tomatoes are in the new recipe. We wrote the ratio already, which was 1.5 over 1 equals 6 over x.
So there are 4 tomatoes.
And we found out there were 4 tomatoes. See, we're so cool. We already did all this. I know, I always push you further. I'm like, let's finish it. Okay, so let's just do on your own 3. I believe you're done with your journals now. So we have 5 over 8 equals 20 over d is my variable. Okay, what am I cross multiplying?
8 times 20.
8 times 20 and then dividing by 5. So what's 8 times 20?
160.
160 divided by 5 would be?
That'd be like, wait, if it's 12 or
32.
32. So D equals 32. Good job. Oop. Once you guys get the hang of this, you'll fly through it. So 7 over Z, and I put this little line through my Z because otherwise it's a 2 because of my 2's, the way they look, over 14 over 10. Does it matter what the variable letter is?
No.
Not at all. It could be a 472. 7 times what?
10.
And then divided by?
14.
So 7 times 10 is?
70.
70 divided by 14 would be?
5, I believe.
Correct. Z equals 5. Did you do that in your head? Well done. It would have taken me a while. I'd have been like, 14 plus 14 equals. All right, last one of the simple 21 over 24 equals x over 8. Which ones am I cross multiplying?
8 and 20.
21 and 8. Yep, you said the same thing. So what's 21 times 8?
168.
Divided by 24.
168 divided by 24.
Yeah, do not feel bad if you want to use your calculator, or you can write it out. What'd you get, John? 7. Good job.
I was gonna guess 9.
Well, you'd have been close. So x equals 7 in this proportion.
Just
All right, one more. Number 6. A school has 950 students. Wow, that's a big school, yes? We have 46. The ratio of female students to all students is 48 over 95. Guys, when you hear that, write it down when it's a word problem. 48 female to 95 students, right? Because it's all. Write and solve a proportion to find the number of to find the number of students that are female in this 950 student school. So the ratio is 48 to 95. What do I put over here on this other side?
950
Where?
on the top.
Bottom.
Bottom, because 950 is talking about the whole school.
Oh, yeah.
So you match it up with the students. So we know there's 950 students. I want to know how many females there are.
So cross multiply.
So I'm going to cross multiply.
Calculators.
Yep, told you the numbers get bigger. So I'm going to do 950 times 48, which is? John's feeling the pressure. Leslie?
45,600.
Your name's not Leslie. What is it, Leslie?
45,600.
Good. And then we're dividing it by what?
95.
Good. So what'd you get?
480.
480. 480 what?
Students. I mean, female.
Female students. That's important.
That's a no.
So x equals 18.
Yep. F equals, but it doesn't, the variable actually really doesn't matter. All right, any questions on how to do proportions? Are you excited how easy proportions are?
Kind of.
I believe.
You understand them, so you're good. All right, you already finished OYO number 1 through 6. You can either turn that in or just keep adding to it the exercises. Numbers 4 through 21.
You want a journal?
No, 8th grade I do. Oh, no, I don't. I don't need them till the test.